Hello and welcome to the Under Center podcast. I am your host, of course, Dara, joined as always by Fionn. Fionn, how are you, sir?
Raring to go. It's game week again, finally, Dara. We had the ref a game. I had the ref a game last weekend. So there's two games I've ref now since I played the last one. So I'm kind of dying to get back in to be the one on the pitch.
I know you're going to have to stop doing these refing things because you're not going to training now, you know that. So you have to.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's. I think if only other people would step up a little bit. You're not too bad, Dara, but we got to get a bigger pool. I think the rule is, lads. I don't know. I don't know what Trinity's policy is, but our rule is there's no lip to the refs unless you've done the refing course. Because all these lads think it's real easy to make these calls on the sideline with just your eyes. And it's funny how it always seems to go. You always either seem to miss the play that they saw was so obvious, or call a play that they never saw whenever it's on their team. So, yeah, that's our policy. Keep everyone nice and quiet and tight because none of them want to volunteer to do it, but they all want to give jeep to anyone who's reffing our game. So we try and keep it nice and polite.
Yeah, well, actually, Griff, you reffed our first
Yeah,
game
that wasn't the
this year
case
as
when
well.
I was reffing your game.
Oh, look, I think our coach is the worst of us, to be honest. We got to get on to
Oh, no,
Coach
he's
Neville
great.
a little bit.
He's great.
You're only saying that because you weren't on that sideline. You were, you didn't have to listen to it there.
That's true.
For
You
sure.
make a fair argument.
But if you are not watching us and you're listening to us right now, that is the voice of Griffin Steinman. And we are delighted to also be joined by Sean Emmanuel, both from Trinity. I was going to say the Trinity, but you don't have a team name, which we'll get into in a little bit. So just from Trinity College. How are you guys? How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing very well. It's great to be here. Thanks for having us on.
Yeah, thank you for having me on. It's great to see you guys.
It's good to see you too. We actually, obviously, I mentioned Griff. We did see each other there just at the game that you were at a couple of weeks ago. But Sean, I think the last time we saw each other was the joint scrimmage. I think you were doing a bit of coaching that day, if I am correct.
Yeah, that was up at Santry, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Between Trinity and the Pirates there. That was a nice little practice we had up there. Yeah.
Oh, that was a good day. Yeah, it's always nice to get loads of bodies. You do a little bit of more exotic stuff, I feel like, and
Yeah, even though we were outnumbered by quite a bit.
Yeah, it's not often that the Pirates get to say they've outnumbered someone on a football field before. So look, we're going to take that. We're going to take that for sure. But of course, you guys are on today because you were playing on Sunday against the Wexford Eagles. The Wexford Eagles finally got their season underway. The last team in Ireland to finally get a game going. There was a little rescheduling that needed to be done for this game because initially, of course, it was meant to be on Saturday down in Santry, but of course, due to a waterlogged pitch, it had to be moved to the Sport Ireland campus on Sunday. So fair play for being able to arrange it so quickly, and obviously we got a nice little double header there in Blanche because it was then the Minotaurs against the South Dublin Panthers in the first game, and then of course yourselves in the second game. But despite that, a disappointing 20 points to 6 defeat to the Eagles in the end. Before we get into the game itself, how are you guys doing individually? How's the bodies holding in after the game?
Yeah, I in that first quarter took a hit to the shoulder, and season's done from there, unfortunately. But other than that, I thought it would be a lot worse. I have pre-existing injuries in the shoulder, torn labrum, and I actually have a physio appointment tomorrow to get checked out with some specialists. But yeah, it's unfortunate to have the season cut short, but at least I'm going to be there for the boys to, help out on the sideline at least,
Sean, being the university teams, you've got a lot of turnover there. Are you going to be around for the next couple of seasons? Do you know what your plan is in relation to playing for Trinity and playing football over here?
Well, unlike Griffin, which I think you're leaving, was it 26?
Yeah, 25.
So I'm I should be graduating in 25. So I'm not sure, where the permission to live in the country lies afterwards.
Sure. But you got at least another couple of seasons in you anyway.
Yeah, at least 2. But it all happens. All depends on the shoulder. How it's been 6 years with the torn shoulder, and it's an unfortunate and annoying injury because unlike the elbow or like the ankle or knee, like the shoulder. There's so much going on. I mean, that's not trying to discredit the other injuries because those are terrible injuries. But with this particular injury, it doesn't heal on its own normally, So surgery is required, and the recovery afterwards will be a long time. So I don't know if that time frame will align with my time at Trinity, but while I'm at Trinity, I'll try to make it, everything in my power to make sure that programs afloat, make sure that we're winning games and, make sure that people show up first off,
And Griff, how are you holding in there after Sunday?
Well, as a lineman getting hit every play, so we definitely take, yourself there, the brunt of the work there. It's usually just aches and pains here and there and a bit of bruising in the arms, where you get held. But other than that, I'm doing fine. Just going about my daily life, studying for exams, and I'm pretty active. I go to the gym most days, so my body's in pretty good shape. And I, take care of it. I don't have any bad injuries or anything like that. So, I'm feeling pretty good.
Those lovely, lovely bruises you get right underneath the arm, just like
yeah,
right around there. Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Oh, they're always the fun part when you just try and then next day just put your arms down and nope, that's not going to happen. So arms are going out a little wider now today. But yeah, look, the game itself. What was a beautiful day on Sunday. We mentioned as well. You guys went down early, I should say. Wexford getting the first touchdown in their opening drive. Along the way, I think they converted a 4th and 15. I think it once during that too. But you answer straight back with your own touchdown. A lovely thrown ball. I think it was an 18-yard touchdown pass. But what was really striking to see as well, it was the damage that you guys were doing on the ground, especially, and Sean yourself. And I know the game finished 20-6, but what could have been, I guess, in that first half was that there was 2, I can remember, especially long runs, I think, by yourself that, could have very well ended in house calls, but if it wasn't for a last-ditch tackle from the last remaining defender.
Yeah, it was, the first injury was on the kick return. The first play of the game, I think, I just went out for a stiff arm, felt unright. And, I decided to stay in for that drive. And, later in that drive, we got a few nice runs. And, that one play, I think it was, I forgot where we were. I think it was at like the 40-yard line or something like that. And, I was cutting back and I thought I had more room. Like I thought I had more room to the sideline. So I just had a, diagonal straight shot to the pylon, or what I thought. But, next thing you know, I'm right there on the sideline. And, realized I had to cut up field, caught up with that guy, went for a stiff arm. Same thing happened. And, I think he went down on that play as well, because we went down awkwardly on that play, if you look in the video. But
yeah, he definitely was holding his back. I don't know if he maybe landed on a boot or a knee of yours or something like that. But
I don't even know what happened. I think he tried to grab my shoulder pads from behind me and then kind of pulled me to the ground. And then I fell on him or something like that. I don't know what happened. It was quick, but
Yeah, it was definitely an awkward play to see, especially seeing both you guys down. But a tough day sort of for the offense, kind of all around, and Griff sort of being on the line yourself, you could sort of talk about it a bit. I think the stat line coming out of it was 13 sacks from the Eagles defense, which is tough, obviously, on your quarterback. He doesn't want to be hitting the ground 13 times for sure. But, especially in heat like that, and I guess it was a sort of defensive scheme that sort of caught you out a little bit on that.
So, I'd say our line was not prepared for what the Eagles were bringing in terms of defense. They were running blitzes a lot of the time. And myself, I play offensive tackle, and I have a season under my belt from last year. So I've never played football before I came to Ireland. So I kind of had an idea of how to pick up a blitzer, but a lot of the linemen that we have are, that was their first game, and they were very inexperienced, and trying to explain to them how to defend against them rushing 5 or 6 guys was a challenge for us for sure. And you could say this game, in my opinion, was definitely won on the line, as their Eagles line is incredible based on what I've seen. I mean, they're really talented and a lot of very athletic dudes on there. And I give him a lot of credit. Definitely 13 sacks. I mean, it's incredible. I think one player had 6 sacks himself. I mean, what a day he had. That's incredible. I'd wish I had a day like that, but
if I have a season like that, I'm happy, man.
Yeah, a season with 6 sacks is incredible.
Well, guys, I guess it kind of feeds in nicely into the idea or the ethos of this Division 2 at the moment. I know Trinity in the past have been up in Division 1, and I'm sure you guys certainly are organized enough and have plenty of talent there, and you'll be keen to get back up to that Division 1 as soon as possible. But I think, Griff, maybe you might comment on, it's really nice to have these, and certainly I think we'd prefer to have more teams in the division play a bit more meaningful football during the season. But the fact that all of us will make it to the playoffs and it kind of becomes a knockout tournament, then it gives you guys, like you said, your new guys a chance to really get training in live action. And this is something now you guys have tape on and the players have experience on, that you guys as captains and as part of the coaching staff as well now have this asset that you can use to kind of teach up some guys and hopefully make stronger rookies and stronger guys that you can bed in as veterans as the seasons go on.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'd say that our biggest priority right now would probably be to train up our linemen, because on the day, I think we had about 6 linemen, it was 7, but one of them got injured towards halftime. So we had about 6 linemen, most of them playing both sides of the ball, both ways, and, getting tired and everything. Like myself, I rarely came off the field. I was on pretty much the entire game. And, getting the problem with our, organization, I guess, is that only Trinity affiliated people can play for us. And so all of the big dudes at Trinity go play rugby.
Yeah.
So it's hard to get linemen like myself. I weigh 77 kilograms. I'm 5'9". I play line. I play offensive tackle and defensive end. And when I lined up against, I think it was number 54, dude was like 3 times he was a brick wall. I couldn't get past him. There was just no amount of athleticism or training would allow me to move that absolute giant of a man. I'm surprised he's not, I mean, I'm surprised he's not playing rugby. I mean, he's a big guy, but yeah, just getting more linemen, maybe poaching some Trinity rugby guys once their season's over for some of our summer games would be great, because I guess some of the skills would transfer. But definitely preparing our linemen for schemes like blitzing and rushing 5 or 6 guys, definitely a priority for us.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the life of a small team. We've experienced that over the last couple of years, where we're lucky at the moment. We've got a couple of good players. We hope we can keep them around, but definitely, like you said, Griff, that kind of Ironman football, as we call it, where the guys, especially on the line, it seems to be, because it's such a unique skill set, as you know, that you need, and size is so important, or it can be such an asset. Having the guys having to play both ways, it's a unique experience of the smaller teams. And as you guys said, when you're in it, it's something you want to try, and it's nearly the number one priority usually is get those big guys in, get them trained up, and you can kind of build your offense around that afterwards.
Exactly. Yeah.
Don't worry, Fionn, I'm not going anywhere. The big guys, I'm not going anywhere. You're all right. You're fine.
You couldn't run fast enough to leave anyway, Dara. So
You're right. Why would I want to leave anyway when I have such, someone like you there, just
warm support to nurture you. Yeah.
Nurture. That's what it is. That's the word that some people would use. I'd use bully, but hey, we'll say
coercive control. I think is the
tough love. Tough love. That's the word. Tough love. But Griff, I want to ask about Trinity. Like Fionn mentioned a little bit about obviously coming down to Division 2 and trying to get guys up. There was a lot of losses on the team last year, personnel wise, and obviously the the tagline that gets hit with Trinity is, by the time May comes along, the international players are gone. They don't have a team, and they end up just folding the league. But it wasn't just that last year. There was a lot of probably more established players that ended up moving on, which sort of left the team in a little bit of difficulty. And it was, you were one of the people that sort of had to, pick up what was left and try and put it back together. How tough was this past off season for you, just trying to get everything together so that you'd actually have a team for this year?
So yeah, it was definitely a challenge for myself. We had a lot of our senior players leave, including the O'Dwyer brothers, of course, the previous captain, Rory graduating, and he's over at UCD now, and he's doing great things over there. And Brandon Atwell as well, I think, is with UCD. And a lot of our veteran players, like last year was my first year with the team, and this year we have about maybe 3-4 guys from last year still with us. So it's a brand new team. And I'm happy to say, I think we did a very good job recruiting. At the Trinity has a freshers fair for all of the, new people coming in, freshmen and everything. And all the clubs have stands set up. And we had a very nice looking stand with our helmet and our nice, cool looking, I think our black jerseys are sick. So like we had those out. And we ended up getting a lot of new guys, and including our quarterback, who was a first year from Belfast, never played American football in his life. But when he came down to our first training, we did like quarterback tryouts, and he had quite the spiral. I mean, he looked like he had a lot of potential. So getting him was definitely a nice pickup, John Gibbons, because our previous quarterback, Ben, also was a person who departed. But we are a very young team, which is good and bad at the same time. It's good in terms of we'll have a lot of young guys for the foreseeable future. Even myself, I'm 20 years old. I'm a second year, and I'm here for 3 more years minimum. So along with them, myself and Sean and a bunch of freshmen, we have a nice future ahead of us. And if we continue this recruiting with new people every year, the team's only going to get much bigger and better. And I've got some nice plans for the future of this team for sure.
Yeah,
I just wanted to say something as well.
Sorry.
I just wanted to credit Griffin, because it wasn't easy picking up the pieces of what was left after last year, and like you said, you had some people leave Trinity, go to another team, but you also have that recurring theme with our team of the international players leaving. So, coming to grasp with that and trying to find ways to, just bump recruiting and make sure that we have people, regardless of if they're in Ireland, make sure, they're working out, getting ready, just filling their heads up with the game, and, so that when they're back, when they can contribute, they're going to be a strong force.
I'd like to discredit this rumor that our team is made up entirely of Americans. Okay, there are 3 Americans.
It doesn't help, lads, that the only 2 were the 2 on the show.
Yeah, okay. Okay, 66.6 repeating % Americans from the team are here. And yeah, so 3 of us are American. Of about maybe the 25 we have on the roster, 3 are American. We are a very international team. I'll give us a lot of credit. We've got a bunch of French dudes. We have some Italian receivers. We have some Spanish guys. We have 1 British dude. We'll leave him out of it. But yeah, we're a majority Irish. We're a majority Irish team, and that's going to be the key to finishing seasons, is getting more Irish people who live in this country to finish our seasons, because they do go over the summer. But what we're hoping for in the future is, if the seasons kind of continue the way they are with the structure they have, is kind of get all of our games played. Like, if we have 6 games, get them played within 7 weeks before our exams start. So that way we have a regular season done and dusted. And I think since we're lucky enough to be a young team, we could handle it physically, and that would give us the opportunity to play every week and finish the season for sure, 100%, because everyone's still going to be here. And then for playoffs, obviously we'll do our best. But we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Well, while we're chatting about the league, what have you guys made of playing? I think it's been quite interesting. Obviously, the Pirates are the only team without a win at the moment. We've only played the one game. Everyone else has won a game. I think it might be shaping up for quite an interesting season, even if there isn't anything on the line. I think all the teams have things they do quite well, and then they also have weaknesses, as shown by the wins and losses that are on the board already at such an early phase in the season. How you guys feel that the division's shaping up? Do you think anything's interesting? You've seen some nice storylines, or are you gonna just take these as practice games and then we'll get down to the nitty gritty once we get to the playoff time?
So myself, I think, in my humble opinion, I think the Giants are a sleeper pick. And I think the way that they adjusted after playing us, when I was reffing the game that you guys played against them, I was in the center of it and I could see everything going on. They really looked like a different team than I had seen when I had played them up in Antrim or wherever they play, Causeway.
Yeah.
And I think that their coaching staff does a really great job at analyzing once they play an opponent. And considering we play each of us twice, the next time we play them, it's not going to be a repeat of what happened last time, because they did put up a pretty good fight. I mean, it was in the third quarter, it was 8-6, and then we ended up getting 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter to put it away. But the Giants, I definitely give them a lot of credit. And now the Eagles are, as a lineman, terrifying, because their line is huge, and lining up against, like I said, 54, 3 times my size, that's pretty scary to me. But at the end of the day, I have no fear. I run into them every play if that's what it takes. But and of course the Pirates, comeback kings. You guys finally got the numbers in your squad. I'm looking forward. You guys only have one game under your belt. I'm looking forward to see you guys play the Giants this week. I think it's going to be an excellent matchup. But I think every team as of right now kind of has a shot at taking away this division. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, personally, this goes back, just as an athlete, we're focusing on ourselves. I don't want to get too caught up with the theatrics of the whole thing. I just want to make sure that, we have a team, one, and we're able to, beat some ass. I mean, excuse my language, but, we're able to.
You can curse as much as you like on this show. Don't worry about
that. Nice. But as for your game, those Giants, it's not like that win was easy to get. It was. Again, the conditions made it difficult as well. But no, they were big. They had a decent amount of numbers, right?
They did. Yeah, and another thing to mention was when we played them, they didn't have, I believe it was Ross McKenzie. I think that was their defensive captain. He wasn't playing when we were up there. And then when they played you guys, he was playing, and I was the umpire, so I was behind the defense, and they have a lot of money. They have names on the back of their jerseys. It was very easy to spot him. And I saw him. He was a weapon on their defense. He absolutely did some damage to your O-line and got to the quarterback.
So you also have, it looks like the team chemistry over there. They got a good group of guys over there. They invited us over for pints and for grub. It was one of their mates. I think it was his 20th birthday. To welcome us into their home. One, it's a big, journey up there into Northern Ireland. So, just to accommodate us and, definitely give us food. That got on our good side.
Yeah, that was very kind of them. And this goes out to all of the other Division 2 teams. Once you do play us, Trinity at home in Santry, we are going to have, hoping if our games don't get rescheduled to in the late evening, we're going to have nights out after our games at Captain America's, our sponsor. So we are sponsored by Captain America's, by the way, on Grafton Street, great restaurant. And it's going to be a great time. You guys are totally, any team that comes to play us, definitely invited. We'll have a whole space booked out, and we'll do pictures, and it'll just be a great time. So that goes out to the Eagles, the Giants, and the Pirates, of course.
I think that's a good thing about the division. About Division 2 at the moment is like the camaraderie between the teams. It isn't where every team wants to be. Obviously, everyone wants to be fighting for that All-Ireland championship. But look, somebody has to be down there, and we're making the best of it. We're pulling together, and we're making sure we enjoy our time while we're down there, and kind of build a bit of camaraderie. There's and I think as well to what you were saying, Sean, we're going out there, we're all playing hard. I know it's a little bit weird for the teams that are maybe looking down on Division 2, but it certainly doesn't feel like there's nothing to play for in the regular season when we're out there on the pitch. There's a lot of big hits going in, a lot of good football being played. So I think we're just going out there to have fun. I mean, for me, it's the best we could ask for. You get to play all your games in a small league. They've put it on for us. Like, we just want to go and play football now at this point. We all have to go and pay to play over here. So just games.
Sure, look, it is. Yeah, it's an easy cop out to say, oh, you play 6 games, you lose all 6 games, you still get a playoff game. Like, I know it's an easy cop out to say, but guys you still want to play and you still want to win.
I just like, I like playing football. I'd never played football before I moved here. I was not a sporty guy growing up in America, but I love it. It's a great time. I look forward to it for trainings and games. It's just a great feeling, getting those endorphins going. And after that first hit, man, there's nothing like it. And everyone in this league knows there's nothing like it.
Oh, it's fun. And, whenever people ask me, from here in Dublin or from home, oh, why are you playing American football? Why don't you just go play rugby or something? Go play some Gaelic or something. And, I always try to tell this. I mean, for some people, they understand. For some people, they don't. But, American football, it's unlike other sports, It's the team bonding, like you said, the camaraderie required, the respect and like the courtesy in the sport, but also, like you said, like the gruesome hits and, the brutality of it, the violence, like it gets you going, and it feels like war. It feels like combat, and, at the end of the day, when you're able to, laugh it off, everybody's sore, but, at the end of the day, win or loss, you had fun. That's the point of it, just to have fun with it. Doesn't matter how old you are, what size you are, it's just getting out on the field and, enjoying the sport we call football.
Yeah.
We do have some listener questions that they want to ask, but before we do, I have to ask something because I need to ask, who is the person that's coming up with your social media bits? And can we hire them? And who was the person that came up with the game day fits as well coming off the bus? Because it's been exquisite so far.
So our social media team consists of our star-stud wide receiver, Connor Keeley. Big shout out to him. He had 2 touchdowns in our game against the Giants. And Alonzo Morales, who is another wide receiver. And he also plays on the defense as well as a linebacker / corner. And those 2 guys I don't know what it is. They have this creative mind about them, I suppose. And our game day fits video kind of started by accident. When we went to play in our intervarsity games against Limerick and UCD in November, some of us, but not all of us, and I'm sad that I actually didn't, decided to wear suits to walk off the bus and film a nice, cool video. And then we posted it and people liked it. And it was really cool and it got good feedback. And then we decided, okay, we got to do a theme for every game. And so we did the Hawaiian shirts for our game against the Giants. And that was really cool. I think we had like 95% participation with the Hawaiian shirts, which was just sick. And it looked really cool. And everyone was into it. And it's stuff like that builds the team spirit. Now, unfortunately, we weren't able to film our video for the game against the Eagles because we didn't have a bus and we didn't have a locker room, and people were showing up at different times. And by the time everyone was there, we had needed to start getting dressed, so it just didn't work out, unfortunately. But for the next game, you bet we've got a theme plan, and it's going to be great. It's going to get a lot of views. I guarantee it. It's going to be great.
I mean, you're not going to be catching me, wearing a suit on a 3-hour bus ride, but I'll be, repping the set now.
Can we set?
Yeah, and
like
actually,
a onesie or something like that, Hawaiian shirts or something, like just good.
That would be nice. Yeah, like a onesie, get everybody in like pajamas or something.
Yeah, And
Yeah,
actually, our
there you
social
go.
media team was nominated for a best social media for any club inside of Trinity Sport Union at the Sporting Awards. So we're definitely getting some
really? That's
recognition
sick.
there. Yeah,
I didn't
definitely
know
getting
that.
some recognition there. Those two guys, they do a great job, but no price you can offer them will allow them to work for any other team.
Oh well, look, listen, we'll come back to it. Everything has a price. Don't worry about that. Don't you worry about that. But listen, great work by them, and we can't wait to see more of it as the season goes on. So, let's get through some of the listener questions, and then before we let you go, we'll just try and get your predictions for this weekend's games as well. So, first off, this was actually from the Trinity page itself, so it could have been from Connor or Alonso that asked. When is Griff making his wide receiver debut?
That's a great question. I would have loved it to have been day one of me playing football.
He needs to learn how to catch first.
I need to learn how to catch first.
Always the hardest part.
That's the hardest part. And the second thing here, as everyone here knows, you're wearing glasses. I can't see anything.
Yeah, I don't wear contacts either. I just wear.
I don't wear
Yeah.
contacts. So
I'm legally blind.
the main
Neither do
reason
I,
I
yeah.
played line was because I can't really see anything that's further away than 5 feet in front of me. So I can see the dude that I'm lining up across, but I could never see a ball thrown at me without my glasses on. So, and I couldn't catch, so I played line. But if I were to ever get LASIK and maybe go to Tyreek Hill's camp for wide receivers, then maybe I could have a chance at playing wide receiver.
If not, maybe we can get you into tight end university. That could work too.
Yeah, tight end university. I can pick up a block or two here and there.
Yeah, there we go. The next one was actually from the person beside me, Fionn. Fionn is wondering why you don't have a team name yet.
Yeah, what's up with that? You never have, and it.
Okay,
at that
all right,
point, it
relax.
feels insulting.
Get off our
Like,
case
you think
here.
You're better than us, like about the whole league.
Okay, we are
like-
better than you. We know that.
Oh, Trinners for winners. No, that's starting to come out now. Okay.
So essentially, this is my first year with the team, and I believe, from what I understand, the history of the team started in 2008, and they just never. They were the Trinity Thunderbolts for, I think, before they were an official team, but then it just became Trinity College Dublin American Football, and it was just that for about a decade, and I never really questioned it. Well, for the year that I was on the team, I never really thought about it. But the new committee consisting of myself, Sean, a bunch of other young guys, we are going to be hopefully workshopping a name this summer, and we are going to debut it for next season with hopefully new jerseys and a bunch of new promotional stuff. But that is all dependent on money because we don't have any of that. We have $0 in the budget, essentially. But luckily, Trinity is giving a big push to the sport union, which supplies the budget to all of the sporting clubs. And from what I understand, so if you wanted to come play for Trinity, the price is €3.50 to come play for Trinity. And then you would have to pay the league registration fee. We provide the helmets, the pads, the jerseys. You just have to bring boots and a gum shield. And so we're not really getting the majority of our money from our players. It's coming mostly from the sport union, which at the moment is not funded by the school whatsoever. It's an independent entity, which government, I don't know. It's strange, but they're looking to change that, which would mean more money for everybody. And if that's the case, that means we can buy new helmets, get new jerseys, rebrand, all of that stuff, because our helmets, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but a lot of them are like 10 years old and don't work and provide little to no protection whatsoever. I mean, when we started this season here, I think we had like 14 working helmets.
Yeah, the helmet I used, the face mask fell off.
Yeah,
it was still screwed in.
It was not a good look. So myself and a bunch of other senior players actually bought helmets for our personal use. Like personally, we bought them from Football America in the UK, and we were able to get some from here and there, and we ended up getting enough for a team. But name of the game, word of the day, cash.
Yeah.
Cream.
Well, guys, before we move on, will you give us an Under Center podcast exclusive and float a couple of possible names at this juncture? They don't have to be nailed to them, but is there anything rattling around in your head? Is there ones you like the sound of at the moment?
Well, if
See,
Connor
Sean
Keeley's
definitely
listening,
has one. Look at him. He definitely has one. He's like 3. He's like, if they're
Lads.
not these, I'm walking. These are too good not to be.
If it's not the Thundercats, don't even bother.
the team's gonna be upset if I reveal any. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay.
I'm gonna
So,
reveal. I'm gonna reveal one.
you gotta reveal one.
So the one that I really wanted
Don't do it.
and that is sick
Don't
and
do it.
really cool.
They're not ready for it, bro.
They're not ready
They're not
for
ready
it.
for it. They're not ready.
And Connor Keeley, if you're listening, this goes out to you. The Trinity Freebirds are going to come into existence, and they are going to absolutely sweep every game they play. The Trinity Freebirds, our theme song is Freebird by Leonard Skinner. Don't know if you've heard of it. It's a little underground, a little indie, but it's I think it's a sick name. We'd have a nice black.
You know,
and
we're
red
old.
Falcon or
Exactly.
something.
We know exactly who Leonard Skinner is. We're old. We know that.
that'd be. I think the Trinity Freebirds versus the Leash Labradors would be the intimidation bowl of.
Oh man,
That'd be held at the Aviva, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, look, we'll take it.
Thanks.
Thanks for the exclusive on that one. Anyway.
Yeah, Connor, that goes out to you. The Trinity Freebirds, they're coming. We're coming.
It makes a whole lot of sense because one of the questions was from Connor and he asked when are the Freebirds playing. So now we know.
Yeah.
Now we know.
It's kind of a running joke within the committee, like the Trinity Freebirds, because I really like it, but no one else likes it.
I think it's gonna be. It could be a good name.
The 2 Americans like it, but all the other Irish people,
no,
not a fan. No, they have no taste. It seems.
We have one more question. This is from Evan Quigley. If you don't know, Evan was on the show a couple of weeks ago. He's part of the Vikings, the UL Vikings. He's just asking probably a question that a few people would have asked as well. Will Trinity be able to finish the season this year with the international students leaving?
So that is a question that we have all been asking ourselves. And right now, we're keeping our hopes high, and I think we can do it personally. Myself being an international student, I am going home for a period, but I spent 650 euros to fly back to play in the playoff game. So I will be back for those playoff games. So the name of the game is getting through. We have one more game against the Pirates, or we have 2 games against the Pirates and then 1 against the Giants. Getting through those 3 games will be key. Because if we can make it to that June 25th, I think it is, that's the divisional round, then if we make it there and field a team, that's good. That's fine. That's perfect. In my book, that season completed.
I was going to say, do you have one more game against the Eagles as well?
That one,
I don't know, to be honest.
it's kind of it's a tough one
because I know because they had to cancel it, and look, we're still up in the air about our first home game as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we're not too sure either. But yeah, okay, no, that's all right. It's just kind
of tough for our schedule because the next 3 weeks, like all of our guys, including myself, are studying for exams. Like I was in the library 7:30 this morning till 7:30 at night. So all of us have exams for the next 3 weeks essentially, and then we have games back to back, and it's just looking like for them we're working our hardest to try and get that game rescheduled, but right now I really don't know. There hasn't really we haven't even talked about it really. I've bigger fish at the moment.
Yeah, of course, and that's the thing, and this is, I know, because outside of yourself, UCD, UL as well, the rest of the teams consist of people that do this as a hobby, that work around their daily lives. This is like, you are in college and you are studying obviously to get your degree, and that's obviously taken priority. So it is kind of tough as well at the moment, especially like you're saying, it comes to this time of the year, exams, you need to be studying for that. I totally understand with that for sure. I'm sure personally, for myself and Fionn, we would love to be able to play you guys in May. It kind of sucked when we saw the schedule, seeing that our last 2 games were against you guys. We would have liked one earlier on in the year. But look, listen, we'll just see how the chips lay, how everything is there when it comes to those games. And fingers crossed we can get something going. If not, definitely Griff will be seeing you in the playoffs for sure.
Absolutely, yeah. But the thing,
you're gonna have to move into guard though. You know that, right? I play more on the inside, so you're gonna have to move into guard.
I'll play some nose tackle. I'm looking forward to lining up against you. I want to see what you got. I squat 4 plates. I want to see what you got in those legs.
Just some very, very dodgy calves I have in those legs. That's all. That's all I have in those ones. But look, listen, we'll go through very quickly the fixtures for this week.
Real quick, one more thing. I know
yes,
a certain meme page would probably be upset if their question wasn't asked. So if you would go ahead and
bring
ask
it up
that
to
question.
13 sacks earlier.
That's true. So to the fine gentlemen that run the AFI memes account, also known as, and my personal theory, the Talking Balls podcast. That's my theory.
I mean, I have to say, they've done a good job keeping themselves anonymous. Normally, leagues this small, it goes around pretty quick who's running what, but fair play.
I'm pretty sure it's the Talking Balls podcast. I could be wrong, because they do make a lot of memes against the Jets. So that's kind of a contradictory, but at the same time, they do promote the Talking Balls, like
I saw
merch.
that.
You remember that? When I saw that, I was like, okay, there's no way it's not them.
We wanted
to be totally wrong.
You can ask Dara. I had a meme in the chamber ready to fire out, and he wouldn't. As the media manager of the Under Center podcast, he wouldn't let me. I was going to slag them, being like, "Oh yeah, all hard talking when they're slagging all the teams, but they see one podcast and they're like, oh my god, these guys are great."
Fiona, I was going to let you do it. The only reason why you didn't do it is because you didn't have the password for the Instagram.
That's true.
You weren't there to go through the chat for it. That's the only reason.
Dara, now we could clip this bit. It'll just be a verbal meme.
I have a
Talking Balls. I'm on to you.
He's on to you.
I'm on to you.
I have a theory on who it is. I don't think it's the Talking Balls, though. I don't.
Okay.
Because they were at the game. AFI memes were at the game between us and the Giants a couple of weeks ago. Because I saw they put a picture up of the Giants bus and under the tagline funding. Because I had like the Giants logo on their bus.
Yeah.
So I don't think any of the Talking Balls guys traveled down for that game.
I don't think it's the Trojans either, lads.
They probably sent a proxy. They sent a proxy. They're covering their tracks well. But you know what? I'm on to you guys. And you should definitely have me on your podcast so I can grill you about this.
I want to try out the name Jimmy. I think
Jimmy.
Jimmy. I think it could be that person. I'm not going to say the full name because I don't know for sure, and I don't want to, call him out if it's not actually him. So I don't want to say if it is him, great. Just like give me the title of Batman because I'm the best detective ever. But just getting him now, figuring it out. But sure, look. Listen, you did mention it. The 13 sacks. The AFI memes page did ask how did you allow 13 sacks? We talked about it earlier on.
Yeah.
Good. So this weekend, game week 7 is upon us. We have three games across all 3 divisions, I should say. 3 games in the Premier Division. We have the Westmeath Minotaurs going up against UCD. The Minotaurs came crashing back down to earth after their loss against the Panthers last weekend. The game before, of course, your guys, 20-9, they lost that game. UCD are coming back off a surprise defeat down in Cork against the Admirals. They are 1-2 to start the season, to start defending their Shamrock Bowl. But, lads, I'll let you go first on this one. Minotaurs against UCD. Who have you got?
You want to go?
Yeah, I'll start. I think I got UCD for that one, to be honest.
Any reason for that?
I mean, again, I'm not too familiar with the other teams and, the the depth with certain positions. But, I think, UCD, they always have the numbers. And, we were talking about it earlier. If you have a team where most of the players are going both ways and, it's tough. But, you got 2 really good teams coming into that match. So, but I think UCD will come up on top.
Yeah, and I'm also gonna have to take UCD on this one. I think they've got 2 of our former premier super stud players over there with Rory and Brandon. I think, they've definitely got a lot of talent and facilities and money and training. And the Minotaurs were in Division 1 last year along with us. And while we did not play them as much as I like them because we were in the same division at one stage, I am still going to have to take UCD. I think they've got more raw talent than the Minotaurs personally.
Fionn?
Yeah, I'm going to lean with the lads. Just not any slide on the Minotaurs. I think they did a good job beating the Cowboys. I think it remains to be seen how that Cowboys team is going to mature and how that win is going to mature in the Premier Division. I think UCD are going to bounce back after a tough loss last weekend. So, I think the UCD are going to beat the Minotaurs, but I don't think the season's over by any stretch of the imagination for those Minotaurs.
Yeah, okay. I think it's going to be a clean sweep on this one. I'm going to go with UCD as well. They need to win this game to get right back in. Not so much the playoff hunt. I think I'm not wary that the playoff hunts, but getting one of the top seedings so they can get at least one home playoff game is going to be important. So I think they're going to go and do the business in this game. The Belfast Knights are at home against the Cork Admirals. That is a long journey for Cork to do. On the day, the Knights are coming off a disappointing loss against the Trojans last week. Fionn, actually, I'll go first with you on this one. Admirals v Knights, who have you got?
Admirals, we said on the show last week, they've been my surprise so far this season. I think they're going to keep rolling. I think that the Knights have yet to get up to full steam. I think the Admirals have hit their stride quickly this season. So I'm going to take the Admirals on that one despite the long trip.
Griff or Sean? Who
wants
to go first?
I think, I can't say I know too much about these two teams, but from what I have seen across social media, I'm going to also have to take the Admirals. I think momentum is a big factor in this league, and 2-0 coming in to, hopefully maybe upset a team that's home that hasn't won a game yet. I think that's definitely going to give them the motivation to play as hard as they can and pull out this win.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with the Admirals too. Long journey, but coming off a win against UCD, big team, big win. Momentum brings the game. Should be a good game.
Excellent. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Admirals too. Make it another clean sweep. They look like they are going to be a very tough team this year to beat. But speaking of tough teams, it's the Dublin Rebels against the South Dublin Panthers. A bit of city rivalry there for you in this game. The Rebels, of course, have a perfect start to the year. The Panthers are 1-1 after winning their first game against the Minotaurs. Like we mentioned, they lost the first game against the Admirals, actually in Santry there a couple of weeks ago. I'll go first on this one. I can't see past the Rebels. The Panthers played very well. Their quarterback, Finn Kearns, is playing very, very well indeed. But the Rebels' numbers, the Rebels' strength and depth, the Rebels' just coaching is just geared towards making a run for that Shamrock Bowl this year, and I can't look past them in this game, so I'm going to go for a Rebels win. I'll go down and actually, Sean or Griff, one of you guys, who do you want to go first on this?
As much as I want to say the Panthers, I have to agree with you. I think the Rebels might win. Just their organization is just, it's hard to match that. And we were able to watch a little bit of that later end of the Panthers Minotaurs game, and they got some big bodies over there. They got some big units. So just like all these games, they should be great. Should be close, but I got Rebels on top.
Yeah, I'm also gonna have to go with the Rebels on this one. And before we played our game on Sunday, I was able to watch a bit of the Panthers game. And I have to say, Panthers, you got some stuff to clean up. You were making some mistakes here and there that just are easy fixes, especially for a team that's in the Premier Division. Like if I was watching a Division 2 game, I'd be like, yeah, it's about right. But Premier Division team, I think you might be a little bit out of your wheelhouse playing against the Rebels here, especially with the momentum they have.
Yeah, I'm gonna go the same way. I think just it's not looking easy to stop the Rebels at the moment, and nothing we've seen from the Panthers so far has shown that they are particularly equipped to to pull a surprise. Of course, I think we always love a surprise here or there, especially in the Premier Division, keeps things interesting. But I don't see it happening this week. I'm going to take the Rebels as well.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. Let's move down to Division 1. The Antrim Jets. Let's be real, it's kind of been a bit of a disastrous start for them this year. Going 0-4, not scoring in the last 3 games as well. It's been tough. Going up against their Crusaders. The Crusaders, I believe, are 1-1. So they had a great opening day victory. They lost their second game to the Vikings, which, no disrespect losing to the Vikings. They are a fantastic team in Division 1. So an interesting game, a game actually that took part in Division 2 a couple of years ago before COVID as well. So these two teams do know each other. I'll go to you first on this one. Jets and Crusaders.
Yeah.
First of all, who do you think is going to win? And secondly, what do the Jets need to do in this game to sort of show you that they're making progress?
I think the Jets have got to be closer, and I think it's going to be a Crusaders win here because it's not going to happen overnight. The Jets are in for a tough season. We've been in those shoes before. We know what it's like when you're down, and it feels like maybe there's a little bit of a gap as well. They haven't been so far close. So I think for them, it's going to be about keeping it close. It's you just got to build week on week at that point. So just clean up some stuff that maybe went wrong last week for them, and just try and build from there. But yeah, I'm going to take the Crusaders in this one.
Griffin, Sean?
As much as I love the Jets, and I think they have a cool logo, I know absolutely nothing about either of these teams other than the Crusaders win was, I think, massive. Their first game, it was a big margin. Against the Vipers. Realistically, gonna have to go with the Crusaders. I think they just have the offensive weapons to score points, and that's ultimately what wins games. And that seems to be the Jets' weakness because they don't score any points. So as long as you score just a little bit more points, you usually win football games if you score more points than your opponents. So I'm gonna have to take the Crusaders on that one.
Yeah, I saw. I think it was on AFI memes. I think it was like, I don't know if we should be feeling more hurt or if the Jets, but the 13 sacks more than the Jets points this season.
That's worse than being 4-0. Is getting 13 sacks thrown on you.
Yeah,
that hit me hard.
That's like a dagger. It's like 27 daggers to the heart. I'd say, I have to agree. The Crusaders. I mean, I know absolutely nothing, but I would like to say, let's go Jets. Let's pick it up. Let's get together and win some games. I think you guys have it in you. I like your logo, but when it comes down to it, you got to score points.
And no slack to him at all. I know.
I'm not trying to
nothing
diss
about
or anything.
I don't know. This is my second year in the league. I barely know any other teams besides some Division 1 teams, and then now I know because there's only 4 of us. I know most of the Division 2 teams pretty well.
And when it comes down to it, like there's certain factors which lead to a team's, I guess you'd say, like lack of success early on. But it doesn't mean that you don't have time to make those corrections, make those adjustments.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna go with you guys on this one. I'm gonna go with the Crusaders. Look, we've been in this position as well with our own team. Like, once you start getting into a rut of not scoring points and not winning games, it's very difficult to get out of. And the Jets find themselves in that at the moment, going 0-4. Yes, they scored in their first game, but they haven't scored since. And the last 2 games, especially, they've taken 2 really bad defeats. Like scores. So trying to get back to the basics and just getting the defense sorted out right first is going to have to be the priority in this game. Just try and keeping it close. So I'm going to go with the Crusaders, and hopefully the Jets can sort of keep it closer than have been the last little while, because you don't want to see those score lines in the league. You don't want to see those 50-something to none or, 47 to 14. You don't want to see those wide margins. You want more competitive games for sure. Because it is, and if it happens to the same team or if it happens to the same teams, it can be quite disheartening. You want to see teams being able to keep in it and keep in games. Let's go to the real game of the weekend. Division 2.
Absolutely, the best division.
Causeway Giants, North Dublin Pirates up in Causeway. Of course, the Giants won the reverse fixture a couple of weeks back, 26 points to 0. Who will I go first on this one?
Go Fionn first. I want to hear what you guys have to say first.
Well, look, it wasn't the start of the season we were hoping for. I agree with Griff. I think the Giants are a sleeper team. If there is a sleeper team in this league, they're a very well drilled outfit. They do have numbers now. And as Griff pointed out, they are very good at adapting to what the other teams are doing, especially when they're given a couple of weeks to prepare. So I think this is going to be a really tough game. It's a big trip for us as well. Those long distance, long haul games are always tough. For us, I think it's a win we would love to have. And I think it's a win that the league should be rooting for. And then that'll mean every team then in the league has won a game. It makes things very interesting. It sets up nicely for the playoffs to know that anyone can scalp anyone else within the league. So, look, maybe as impartially as I can possibly be, I'm going to go for a Pirates win. If nothing else, just to keep the division interesting while we play the regular season.
Yeah. Like I mentioned there with the Jets and sort of, keeping it close and keeping it in games. Despite the score line, it was a very close game in the first game. It was just towards the end of the game where it kind of got a little bit out of control. I think they scored 2 touchdowns late to sort of, put a gloss on the win. No disrespect to the team, they have to score points to win. They did. They are a good side. Obviously yourselves and Wexford got all of the talk pre-season because you guys came down from Division 1. We've seen your talents before and playing. I obviously I'm going to go for a Pirates win. I think that, I think to make the league interesting, it would be great to have every team have at least one win so far. I think a thing that we had last game was a lot of rookies and a lot of first timers playing on the team that maybe just weren't fully prepared in terms of what it was like to get hit in an actual football game. They have now. They know what to expect in this game. And I think that'll help them in this. So I'm going to go with a Pirates win. It's going to be a close game. But yeah, Pirates win.
Well, that's funny you should say that because let me just say this first. Love the Pirates. Probably my favorite team in the league. You guys are great.
I'm waiting for the boy, Griff.
I'm a big fan, and I'm praying every Sunday. I pray that you guys win every Sunday. But I don't think you're going to win. I think the Giants are going to come away with this one. And I think that they definitely took away what you were doing in the last game, and they're going to adjust to it even more. And so it's going to be even harder for you guys. You're either going to have to change something up. Maybe you did. I don't go to your practices. Maybe you have a whole nother scheme coming out here. But I think the Giants are going to be at home with their crowd, with the lady with the bullhorn, and she's going to be there, and they're gonna do some damage on that amazing, incredible pitch, and just come away with the W and send you guys back to Dublin. And as much as if you get a win, bottle of champagne, both of you. If you win,
I'm going to hold you.
Prove me wrong. I love controversy as well. That's why I picked the Giants as well. I love it. It can't be a clean sweep. We've done
clean sweep. We've swept every single one up to now. No, I appreciate that, Griff. There's definitely no hard feelings there. That's for sure.
Of course not.
Gotcha. Alrighty, so that's a tough one because I haven't seen you guys play like actual game. I saw you guys at the joint practice we had between Trinity and Pirates, and I mean, yeah, I think we mentioned before, you guys outnumbered us probably 3-1.
Yeah.
But like you said there, getting rookies, getting first timers out there on the pitch, First time experiencing contact, first time seeing how the game is run at that speed. It's a little overwhelming at first, especially if you're completely new to the sport. So, it's first game of the season. You got the butterflies out. I'm going to go with the Pirates win. Giants, like those guys, don't think that it's going to be easy. Like, you guys can swipe them up the rug. Those guys are tough. They're big. And
look at there. Big guy.
So, like I'd say, just get some ankle protectors on that grass and you'll be fine.
Well, we know well about that field. Yeah, we know well about that field from last year. And especially if you are playing against the wind for a quarter or two.
That
just
was
getting
actually
that
ridiculous.
lovely smell from the farms that are around it. Just it's great. It's fantastic. But look, that's I think a perfect place to wrap up this edition of the show. Sean and Griff, thank you so much for taking the time to speak to us today. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us both on. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you. Hopefully we'll be back soon. Yep.
No problem. And look, listen, Sean, I hope everything with the shoulder goes well. I think hopefully it is going to suck that you won't be playing again this year. But look, listen, hopefully we'll see you on the sidelines, maybe doing a bit of coaching when we do plays in a couple of weeks.
You'll see me on the sidelines, but you'll see me soon. Yeah, I'll be back.
Oh, yeah.
Dare, you'll see me at nose tackle there.
Yeah, he's the one you should be
I don't
worried
play
about.
offense. Don't play offense. Don't. It's only defense for me, boy. That's it.
Oh,
You're going to have to
right.
play guard. You're going to have to go in a guard against
All
me.
right, I'll play some guard. I'll hold you up.
Ah, okay, cool. Then when you play guard, I'll move out to edge. Just No, it should be great games. And look, we'll when it's technically, I know we share a home pitch, but when it's technically our home games, we'll celebrate afterwards with some pizza from Firehouse, and then when it's technically your home games, we'll celebrate with hopefully a few points and stuff like that in Captain America's for sure after some hard fought games.
Best cheesesteak in Dublin. Oof.
Yeah, it's real good.
Ooh,
and I'm from Philly. It's decent.
You can't find them out here,
No.
No.
Only real food. They only serve real food in Ireland, you see.
Yeah, beans on toast.
The cuisine hub of the world that is Dublin.
Yeah, you get your pint of Guinness and a coddle. That's what you get. But like I said, that's where we're going to wrap up this edition of the show. Before we go, if you are watching us on YouTube and you haven't already, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel Under Center Podcast. Also, make sure you comment underneath and let us know who you think are winning the games this weekend. Is it going to be the Giants? Is it going to be the Pirates? Who is going to win? Are Darren and Fionn getting those bottles of champagne from Griff? Oh, by the way, only my way. That's it.
I never said that. I said a bottle of champagne. I didn't specify anything.
Make sure you're following us on our socials at UnderCenterPod, both on Instagram and on Twitter. That's where you get the latest news and updates concerning the show. If you want to follow the lads on Instagram, you can. It's TCDAF on Instagram. They have one of the best Instagram games on in the whole AFI. Maybe second only to the Pirates because yours truly runs it. But also follow the North Dublin Pirates on that too. We'll be back next week. We were going to have a load of shows for you next week, actually, because we have to talk about the draft. Because the NFL draft suddenly is a thing now that we have to follow. We've been focusing so much on the AFI season. And we'll also be looking back as well at the Giants game between the Pirates. And, of course, looking ahead to the following week's games with a brand new guest. But until next time, stay safe, and we'll see you soon.